Yeah, so we got a little bit to go through today. We got a couple guests here today as well, so. I do still work here. Yeah. You come in more often. Maybe you'd see me. Nice. It's gonna be a fun one, huh, Deb? Good morning, everyone. Do you guys have a good weekend? Anything exciting? Do you have anything positive to share? Any trips? Any stuff?
Some rally.
Yes.
Vision rally.
Yeah.
Your photo was cute. I saw that on Instagram. That was super cute. You know what we didn't put in here that's a really big deal?
No.
Alva graduated from Real Success.
Congratulations.
That's a really big
right.
deal.
Good job.
Congratulations, Alva. I wanted to be on yesterday's call and I'm sorry to make it in. So, congrats.
What?
I can't hear Deb when she's not.
Like facing this way.
What was you asking? I don't know what she asked you, so, but you go ahead. What did you say?
She said, what did we
did.
Oh.
Oh, it's the OJTM.
So Real Success is, for anyone that doesn't know, it's our coaching program for new agents. It's
Yeah.
50 hours of CE, supposed to be done in like 12 months, can take longer or less, depending on how long it takes you to finish your education. And it requires 4 successful closings, with at least 1 being a listing. So it's a really intensive program. Alva's stuck with it consistently. They have to show up every Monday morning for like an accountability call and a training, and there's reporting every week. So she's feeling a lot of relief today because she's done.
Yeah, that show up thing, we're just gonna get you back into that, Deb. Started it, and I'm excited.
I never started.
I've missed this.
I have
little
too. This has been fun.
camaraderie.
So, yeah. Well, let's get started. You don't know how much, we got a few things to go into.
Okay.
Really quick, we want to welcome, I think we've got a few more coming in, but we want to welcome Tasha Collum. Did I say that?
Column.
Column. And then Brandon Erickson. I don't know if you guys, those that know Dustin Erickson, Brandon is his brother. And Wyatt's not here, but he actually also works at Hale Center Theater. And so he knows Wyatt really well for that. So they just joined the office. We're excited to have him. Still clapboard in. It might be on online, so. Travis, one of our guests today, come on up. Right, so Travis is joining us from Ivory Homes. She's got a few things to discuss. We're gonna try to bring in more inventory that we can't find regularly, and perhaps.
So we broadcast at home too, so make sure you can see you there.
All right,
And you're good to go.
perfect. So just wanted to reach out. I don't know how many of you have ever done transactions with Ivory Homes, but just want to be a resource to you guys and your office. We do over 80% of our homes that are sold up to realtors, so we love selling to you guys. And I just want to start to build that relationship with you guys. We have inventories from St. George to South Weber. One thing about Ivory Homes is they're very intuitive to adapting to the market. So we have a lot of different communities, products, price points of homes. They've come out with a lot of cottage homes, which are actually smaller single family homes, smaller lot, but they're not a duplex or attached, kind of between, you know, a single family condo / townhome, but good price points. And right now we have some really, I guess if there's a new construction update, a lot of the inventory that was built up over the fall is starting to dwindle or go away. And a lot of those deals right now we have homes that are priced anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 off the list price because they're trying to move that product. But kind of the word we're getting is that product's going away and prices are starting to firm up. And so those houses that are 50,000, like, for example, I had a house that was the new model of the one that sold for 50,000 and they said, no, they wouldn't do the price. So prices are starting to kind of catch up and firm up is what we're seeing. And with the low inventory, there's a pretty high demand, especially at lower price points.
Awesome.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of an inventory report in each catalog. My card's in there. Anytime you guys need anything, just you can shoot me a text. Say, hey, I'm looking in Murray. We have townhomes, condos, estate homes. Love to be a service to you guys.
So you can work any development.
Yeah, any community, any area. I can sell any. All I do is Ivory Homes. Yeah. just like that, there's a whole range. We have cottage homes up there. I think they're in the high fives, lower sixes, and then you can do a multi-million-dollar estate home as well. So that's the thing. They're trying to diversify and have different price points for every community, every area. So I'd say it's pretty broad all across the whole spectrum. Those price points.
Quickly,
Yes.
when an agent wants to bring a buyer into Ivory, how do
Yes.
they make sure they get paid?
Yes, so what's the first thing very important is you get your buyer registered. If you have a buyer that even you think might pop into an Ivory home or just be out looking, you call any Ivory agent or specifically me, you register them, you give them their first and last name, and either a phone or an email, it puts it in the system. So right then you're registered as the brokered agent and you're all set. And then hopefully from there, we can take you around, and I do real white glove service for all my agents and make sure your buyers are taken care of all the way till they move in and even after. Yeah,
Can you tell me why some Ivory homes give 2.5% buyer agent commission and others give?
so everything on the MLS is 3%. Ivory does have some different product lines, like they have a workforce housing program where they basically are cutting prices for like firemen, police officers, teachers, where those prices have been reduced. And when they do that, they also sometimes reduce the commission. But generally right now, especially on anything that's on the MLS is 3% for the agents. In the past, it does go up and down.
I already asked him about that.
But we knew. Homes are booming. I
Yeah,
heard
you wanna
jobs
ma-
that are BAC to 2.5, which was. I
Right.
think,
And a lot of that's come back to 3 when it
Right,
was,
because
COVID and everything. They do see that fluctuation. Yeah. So if you want to, whenever you have a question about commission, make sure you talk to the Ivory agent and just say, is this a 3% commission? Is this a 2.5% commission? They do have different product lines. Some of them are houses that are just done. All you do is come in and sell it, and some of those will be a lower commission. Generally speaking, especially right now, they're all 3%.
And I'll give him props for braving that, because I gave him crap when he came in as well, because I've seen this too. I've seen it every time there's been a seller's market. You guys that have been in long enough, you'll see it. When the seller's markets go crazy and it's really easy to sell, all builders, most builders, not all, sorry, most builders will
Drop it.
drop. They'll make it a little more difficult to work with outside realtors. So, and then they come in, and I even gave him crap when he came in, like, well, you go back to him and tell him just not to change during the seller, so you don't have to rebuild relationships.
Yeah.
But I'll give you props, because he's up here and he's not the one that prices over six commissions.
Yeah,
So I appreciate you coming in.
for sure. And we love doing business with you guys. We want to have good relationships. We want to build that trust. So that's what we're here to do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
So how did you know?
Well, I did what he was plugged in. I gave him, but I mean, he didn't say it, and I get it. And so.
What is this? Did we change tile companies?
We
Wanna talk about it?
Sure. There has been some changes, so, and I'm really excited about them personally, and hopefully you guys will be as well. But, Mike, Mickey,
So unfortunately, same faces, just a little different logo. I think the biggest change, and we shared it before, was, secured just kind of felt past tense. It still held the old Title I logo. So we tried to refresh and come in with maybe a little easier, I don't know if it's easier, but secure, no D, drop the D, lots of jokes about that. Which we will not get into. We took the Title I logo out, and we are excited about this new partnership with the Guardian Title Group, which is also an Anywhere company, because they've provided just a ton of really nice tools for you guys, for your buyers. And I'm going to let Mickey talk about the tools. He's becoming the expert in those tools. And
really quick, are you guys familiar with what he's talking about, the new partnership?
No.
Okay, so just
Sure,
to
sorry.
understand that, so, our team locally has not changed. Okay?
Yes.
We're adding more escrow, they're adding more to the services, everything here, but the previous management that was over what was secured land title was actually Title I out of Idaho. Idaho runs very differently, the way the title plant is set up is nothing like Utah, which is one reason we had some disconnects. So Guardian Title out of Denver. Yes,
Another state.
also anywhere company, they are now over the management of all that. They operate the same way we do here in Utah, so they can actually speak to it. So that's a partnership. It's one of the reasons I'm excited about the changes as well. Just so you
But
guys
the
understand what
partnership
it
with
is.
Football Banker is still.
Very much so. In fact,
A lot
it's
anywhere.
stronger because we'll get better support
Yes.
across the board. I mean, we'll have the ability to brand. I mean, we're still Secure Land Utah. We're not necessarily run by another state. We just, our managers are affiliated with a different title brand, still under the Anywhere umbrella and family, that can support us in a way that Idaho just candidly wasn't able to. And that was really the challenge.
One of the main reasons for that, Utah, we can have a split closing, right? Your buyer and seller can close at different places. That allows for a lot more title companies. There's a lot more title work to be done, whereas in Idaho, they don't. They have, like, we have hundreds of title
There are
companies
6 title
here,
companies in the state of Utah or state of Idaho.
and there's 6 in Idaho. So it's extremely different.
There's 160 in Salt Lake County, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
something crazy, yeah.
So operationally, it makes more sense to be aligned with like Denver, who knows how to handle a split closing state, whereas
Yeah.
Idaho didn't.
So we did bring you all a new notepad with the new logo and new pens, and we like the pens. They seem to write pretty well, which is a good thing. So we wanted to make sure that you all had that. And as I said, we've got a new website, we've got some new tools. I'm gonna let Mickey talk about that for a few minutes because they're pretty exciting and super well received in the markets where they've been rolled out.
Yeah, so with the transition, there's going to be a lot of resources that they're putting into it. And one of the new things that they've given us is this farming tool. It's called Title Pro. And this is super easy because you guys can all have access to it. Alva, we're working on getting you set up with it. Crystal Griffin's already set up and we ran a farming list for her. So super easy to use. You can just click a couple buttons and it creates a farm list for you. You'll be able to do property profiles. So if you're on a last minute crunch and you need a full information for this, you don't have to reach out to anyone. You can just plug in the address and press get now and it populates all the information for you on there. And it also allows you to create a nice farm list. Patty, you guys all know Patty. She's been doing this for many, many years and she says she hasn't seen a product like this out there. It allows you to filter down by a lot of little things. So if you guys are interested, I would love to sit down. Patty or I would love to sit down with you guys and do it individually and show you what it does.
So how much information is available? Is it just like owner's name and?
So there's a little bit of everything. So so once you sign up, you get a complimentary list. So you would get 10 property profiles for free. And then that gives you the basics. So it gives you the vesting deed, property characteristics, aerial map of the property.
Owner occupied, right?
Yes, it tells you who the vested owner is. And then you get 500 complimentary for the farm list, and that would give you just the basics. So owner, you can filter down if you wanted to get more specific. You can go by bathrooms, bedrooms, the lot size. So many filters that we can get into. If you're looking to do maybe, or you're looking for like absentee owners and to target the population that's maybe renting, you can just click one button in the area that you're targeting and it populates a whole list for you. So it's pretty easy to use. And it's going to be real nice for you guys.
They're actually gonna hold a class here on July 18th
Yes.
after sales meeting, and they're bringing kolaches. So if you have,
Oh,
need an excuse to come.
Who likes free food? Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I have a quick question. One of the things that I just shut up.
No.
These meetings are for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I have a quick question. One of the things that I think is so useful for sellers, when you have a seller, is this doing like estimate sheets. And I always hate calling Heather or someone go, hey, can you send me some estimates if we sell at this price, if we sell at
The
that
net.
closing costs? Is there a link on here? I mean, I know
So-
this title has one that's not user friendly.
So aside from this tool, there's another tool called PowerSnap, and you can just download it on your phone. They're working on switching out the logo from our old logo to this one now, but It just has a calculator. You just press the calculator. You can plug in the information. So sell price, your commission, there's HOA fees, and it'll give you, it's a net sheet. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can just download it through your phone
And
and
then well, go ahead, finish Power Snap.
Power Snap with an exclamation point.
And sltitle.com is our new website, and there's also net sheets tools on that are super simple.
Said SL title.
SL Title. Yeah, so instead of the whole securedlandtitle.com, we've shortened things up, so it's SL Title. Our email address is a website, a little easier to deal with, less of a mouthful. But the tools there are also super user friendly, and I've plugged several addresses in, and Power Snap you can customize too, right?
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay, I believe you can customize your picture, your contact info, so it doesn't look like it came from an app or our website. It looks like it's generated by you as the agent. I saw,
Brian,
right,
That's,
I just had a question about the property profiles. Was there a regulation change? Remember like back in the day, you have like walkability and all these great features. And then not to draw names or whatever, but different, I haven't asked for one in a while, but I did. And it's like,
it's 4 items that we can include.
So yeah, so it's very limited on what those should contain.
what is there like some sort of, I mean, we can't do like walkability scores or things in like this local. They used to have like local businesses and all these, I mean, that was like a great thing to have in the listing.
Yeah,
Now it's like a recording,
vesting deed,
vesting deed and like couple
But
specs.
they're.
tax information.
The Possibility score, and I think it's better to just send them that info on the website and then they could look.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, what the hell do I want the property profile?
The Department of Insurance, I don't know when, but did change regulations, and they allow us 4 items. The 4 items that I'm sure you received: tax information, vesting deed. What am I missing?
The map.
Plat map. And there's something,
Okay.
there's something else that I'm drawing a blank
You know,
on.
maybe
Yeah.
if that was just them and maybe you guys still,
There are premium features that this program allows that gives you more information. But we can sit through those and
yeah, no worries.
show you that.
All right.
You got it?
I think
Okay.
that covers it.
One last thing, last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of closings from this office, so we wanted to give some shout outs to some of the agents that are using a Sheridan Daily. Thank you. We had a closing with you. Lana Harus, we had a closing.
Yeah, Alana, that's her first deal too.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. And then Lauren, sent us 2. So thank you very, very much. We appreciate you guys very much. And always, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
okay,
that's right on.
appreciate it. See.
Free stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, bagels, I wanted, Trevor brought in bagels, today as well. Trevor, why the hell? Sorry, man. Well, Travis from, Ivory Homes brought in our bagels this morning, so thanks, man.
Thanks, Travis.
Did you all, has everybody seen this listing concierge updates? If you have not, and you missed it when we did it in office, there is, you can watch the town hall recording. If you scan that QR code, to go get more information on the new changes with listing concierge, the packages and flexibility. So I just want to remind everybody that you can go watch that. This launches on July 12th.
Yeah.
Okay. So. There's more for the materials now. Oh, is everybody still doing okay with Moxie? Moxie's been having some issues, just so you guys know, it is Moxie itself, nationally, so it wasn't a tie-in to Des, but they have been having some issues since last week. I think they've got it fixed. But, appreciate the patience with that. We just, found that out yesterday, that it was national, but, hopefully it's back up and running. Anyway, listing concierge, marketing materials, you can find them on Desk Now under Moxie Works Marketing Center or Express Docs.
So if you're presenting like a listing presentation, don't use the old one. Make sure you're using the new one. So you are talking about what you're actually going to offer your client, not what we used to offer.
Yeah. So. This is today. So anybody who hasn't and still wants to, you can. This will start at 11 o'clock here. Runs until 1, I think 2,
Yeah.
11 to 2, and same for tomorrow. So anybody at home, if you've forgotten or if you jotted down the Eastern Standard Time, it does start 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time today. virtual, you'll have your Zoom links and you guys can still jump in if you want to. You've got about 35 minutes. Okay, this was kind of cool. Stephanie was really excited about it. Has anybody used AI to generate pictures? Not just the
Like,
cartoon ones that everybody was throwing, going viral.
Avatars, yeah.
Yeah, so this company called Studio Shots, and these are some of the things Stephanie submitted. She submitted about, I don't know, 30, 40 her own pictures, and this is the stuff that kicked out. It was $30. She got 70 headshots, 70 pictures. She said some of them were obviously not great. She got rid of probably 20 or 30 of them. And
Yeah, that was just got on the profile now.
But this QR code will actually take you to it. This is not a tie-in or anything with us. I know a bunch of different sites that do this, but this is one she found that she loves. It's called Studio Shots something, but yeah, you just upload a bunch of your own pictures.
Still get glammed up.
Nope, it creates them all for you. So we wanted to share some of those AI tools that are still coming down the pipe. We'll have a lot more. I'm doing some training with ChatGPT right now, so I'll see how I can.
It's so scary. It's almost scary.
It's crazy what it can do, but you either can be scared by it or you can learn it.
Now I know why I was going out one time to meet someone for a showing and the guy shows up and he says, wow, an agent who really looks like their pictures.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Either way.
Jen asked about the marketing materials. Jen, they should be in Moxie Present already. If they're not, you can pull them out of, go back a sec. You can pull them, so it should be in Moxie already, but if not, you can pull it out of Marketing Center or Express Docs and then import the PDF into your Moxie presentation.
2920.
Let's do your studio shots after the meeting, you guys.
We got some things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got a few things. So clients for life, if you did not, you should have been notified if you haven't had these. So we had 6 winners out of this office. So Raquel,
some vacations away.
yeah, she was one of the winners. One of her clients won the $400. Randall, you got 200. Marla Holman, Jill Exing, Marcia Elmore, and Raquel also got a second one. She had 2 of her clients.
It's been a lot of winners for Airbnb.
They were excited too. Yeah, it was an email.
Right.
They're probably across the country,
Okay.
but, I reached out the other day.
So to make sure they get
Okay,
those.
just curious. I just want to make sure you all knew. For some reason, you should have been notified. But yeah, this is all from Clients for Life, and we had quite a few letters this time, which is just an increase in you guys actually using the program. So. It's Mark. Did you have any
You're up.
today?
Yeah, a little bit.
Come on up.
Thanks.
Well,
And then he wants to talk about going down Wednesday.
All right, first of all, I want to tell you a quick story.
Some stories.
We had an agent in Arizona that she told this story and she said, will you please share this? And I said, I'll share it. So I have a little bit of a hoarse throat today, don't know why. But she had a client call her out of the blue and said, I need some help with a closing. She was like, how can I help you with a closing? Well, they're at the closing table, this multi-million-dollar house with 5 air conditioners.
Oh.
The 5 air conditioners were all R220, which is the old system. The owner refused to warranty them for the new buyer. Buyer refused to close unless the owner was going to guarantee those air conditioners. So they called several home warranty companies. And the biggest issue was not necessarily they're going to fail, because they probably will, but how much is it going to cost? Because R220 is expensive to replace. The other warranty companies did not cover the R220 refrigerant. They covered $10 a pound. Now our middle coverage is $10 a pound. We covered unlimited. So as soon as they found out that for however much they charge in Arizona, it's $825 here, they could have all 5 air conditioners covered up to a total of $15,000 per air conditioner. And that we covered the Freon unlimited. They went ahead and closed the deal. So that's how a warranty can bring some value to you when you're talking to folks and you're closing a deal. is we, on our top plan, it's expensive, it's $825, it's not the cheapest. But with air conditioning, refrigerant running $180 to $220 a pound. And with the average air conditioning repair taking 5 pounds, if you do the math, you can see how that can get very frustrating for a customer, especially when they're moving in. And you can see when somebody has an old system, they can anticipate that cost. That's something that they don't want to cover. So you can stop in the median and come and get an American Home Shield warranty on the top one, where it covers the air conditioning unlimited. So she loved that story. She did it. So some really good news, but kind of not good news. So Sugar House is still #1 in sales for American Home Shield. We're very proud of that. Thank you to all you guys. I'll have to follow Michael's thing and get some names, but you guys are #1. There's just so many of them. It'd take me forever to name them off. So thank you. Now here's the thing is claims for American Home Shield for May, for just the month of May, for just my area, $113.32. Of that, Coldwell Banker was $20,317.02, or 36% of our total claims. Now, of the 20,000, $9,821.86 was Coldwell Banker Sugar House. So we do pay our claims. We do take care of our customers with you guys, and we're very, very, very grateful for your business. So do we have any questions?
Aren't we the bad guys for sending claims to you?
Actually, you're not. It's actually recognized when we have our team calls. They recognize the people that are using the warranty the most, because we make money on renewals. People will renew if they use it. If they don't, it's like, I'm not using that thing. Why am I writing a big check?
Yeah.
So if they use it, they renew it.
That makes
And it
sense.
also, they coming back to you guys also, and that's what it's all about. So that's why I said it's kind of a tough thing, but yeah, you guys are the top one for claims and
At
sales.
first glance, one would think that wouldn't be a good thing.
Hey, I'll tell you, it means that we have clients that didn't have to out of pocket those expenses. So you've got a home warranty that's taking care of it, then it may not be great on their side paying for it, but it's not their hands. So
Anything else? All right, let you guys get to it. Thank you.
appreciate it. Next, we've got Bree. Come on up.
And Johnny too.
Are you gonna join her?
Oh, Johnny's still around. I haven't talked to him forever. Thank you, Martha.
All
You
right,
can see yourself on that.
there you go. Do I have to?
Yeah.
I didn't bring my stunt double today. Here, come on in so you can get in too. No. Okay, so I'm Bree Osier from Guaranteed Rate Affinity. I've been with the company for about 6 months. I didn't see a lot of you at the last sales meeting that I was at. But I'm going to be hanging out with you guys a little bit more down here. I'm primarily up in Park City. If you guys are familiar with the Innovative team, I was their preferred lender before they came over to Caldwell. And then they just brought me with them. So I've been in the business for a really, really long time. I do a lot of self-employed, mostly Park City and the Wasatch. I've got a lot here in the Wasatch front too, though. And one of the things that has been really great in Park City that the agents and the broker have really loved is Wind Down Wednesdays. So we're going to start doing them here too. So the first one's the 26th of July. It's going to be from 3 to 5. It usually goes over, but I'm going to supply some wine and some good cheese and meats and stuff like that. And it's just a really good time to unwind and talk and be a little bit out of the business. And so, yeah. Like non-alcoholic drinks as well.
You know, you don't have to drink wine. So when the wants, we're excited to get some more events and just kind of social things that aren't just strictly. Excited that Bree's gonna be spearheading that for us. So, yeah. Cool. John?
Yep, as you know, July 1st, the new $20,000 grants will be available for first-time home buyers. So I got a cheat sheet here, FAQ. So if you have any questions about it, reach out to me, let me know. I talked to Bray. It's kind of like one caveat about it. It's like, it's going to be 20,000 available. So a lot of times people want to buy the rate down. So one thing you want to keep in mind, if you buy the rate down to where you use all the money for the rate and they decide to sell it within a year and a half or so, they're gonna have to pay back the 20,000. So if they don't have enough equity, they may have to come out of pocket, because what happens is it's gonna be sales price less the balance of the mortgage. And if they gotta pay back the 20, that comes first before real estate commissions and everything else. So make sure when you talk about buying the rate down, usually what you probably want to do is probably pay down the balance with the 20K, because they'll have the equity right away. So you wait for a couple, if they sell within a year and a half and they're upside down, they're gonna have to pay back the money regardless.
Do you know what the credit score needs to be?
620, just Utah Housing, 620, first time home buyer. At least one person has to be a first time home buyer. And you can be a person that is on investment property and you co-sign on investment property, you still consider a first time home buyer. Because it's an investment property, so it's not a primary home.
Also,
Right now, 134 for the Utah. So if you go to the site, Utah Housing, FHA, it's like 134, 100. First home's like 81,000. So you have more luxury at the FHA, VA, which is 134.
and also with that, the first time home buyer, if you have not owned a home in 3 years, you're still considered a first time home buyer. Or if it's somebody that has recently been divorced or something like that, they can be considered a first time home buyer.
I have someone you should talk to.
And actually, you can be, I got a client that's closing on it right now. He's got he's got investment property at his home for him 3 years ago. He's got a primary home. He's gonna lease that out. You can use Utah Housing money for the down payment. You just gotta make sure that you don't have an FHA loan on the books. They gotta be conventional loans that's on credit. You just can't have an FHA loan. It's gotta be 100 miles away if you have another FHA loan. So first, Utah Housing FHA loan typically are FHA loans. So if you have conventional loans on credit, you can get another FHA loan and use the down payment program.
Doesn't need new construction too.
This has to be new construction. And yeah, so usually what happens is sometimes you can say, hey, we'll pay down the balance to like 400,000. It's 450 purchase price. You can't pay it down. If you're buying a 470,
Yeah.
it's got to be 450. You can't
As a
reduce the
minimum.
price on it.
As a minimum, the 450 minimum, right? Okay.
So that's,
Wait,
No, 450 maximum.
Max.
It's a max.
Okay, got it. Add the back.
Yeah.
purchase price.
Mhm.
It's townhouse.
What do you have for under 450?
Magna and Willow Stansberry.
So it's just,
And we have,
20K.
yeah,
so that's why you take the 20,000 and you try to pay down the balance. So they qualify. So this is helping people. Plus, you can stack this on top of the second mortgage for Utah Housing. This is on top. So you got a first, you have a second, and then you have the 20,000. You'll have 3 liens. Yeah, there's no interest on
But
it.
it's payable when you sell
Yes.
Or refinance. Or refinance.
Or
forever,
just the first year.
forever.
Forever.
But you have to refill the pot, the grant money when
Yeah.
you.
So that's why if you have someone trying to sell within 2 years and they bought the rate down,
Got
they're
it.
upside down. Now, what happens is it's 20,000. So if you say that I sell my house, I'm gonna profit 18,000, well, you have to pay 50% of the 20,000, but you got more than 20,000 in equity, you're gonna pay back the 20 first. Realtor fees will not, that's first.
Anytime.
So,
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Negotiatory conveyance, probably.
it just goes right back into the kitty for other people to use, so. it's not
When
gonna-
you owe back, does that amortize over time? I mean, the longer you're in the property, the less they have to pay, or
It's not really, it's 20,000, it's not payable, so you'll have it there, it's gonna be there, it's gonna be a lien of 20,000. It's gonna stay at 20.
Yeah,
so you do have to pay it back no matter what.
you do. Yeah, if you refinance, if you sell, it's got to be paid back.
And how many grants are available?
There's basically there's 50 million, enough for 2,400 families, 24.
If they take the 20,000, but not everyone will take 20.
Why
Right?
would you not?
yeah.
Maybe it doesn't qualify or, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then also it's gonna be replenished when someone pays off their home, it goes back into the fund. Yeah. So if you have more questions, I have notes here, so feel free to reach out to me. It's a lot of stuff. It's still, but basically it's Utah Housing will run the show. first, second, and that's a third thing, if you want to take a
It
second.
really isn't a grant. It's a lesson.
It's a, they're not charging you a fee for it and
Yeah.
they're not charging interest on it. It's a $20,000.
You
Where
gotta
hold
pay it
my
back.
money.
Yeah,
It's a grant that you have to pay back. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing free in this world, you know.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Larry.
Did get a cut.
Okay,
I don't know. We don't want to ask any follow-up questions.
you guys, okay, the class of the month, buyer strategies, you guys can find that on the CBU Learning Center, on the desk. Bring it to system. What does it say?
I think
That's
it's
good
maybe.
enough. Really quick, before we jump into a few things, is most of you know, it is membership dues time, okay?
So fun.
Get it paid by the end of July, you're gonna get hit. So, if you're doing it now, if you're adding any amount to your RPAC, then there is, it's not on here, but they're currently doing double entry. So they're giving away a lead, I think it's a 3-year lease for a Ford Bronco. And for every $15 that you donate to RPAC, that actually goes into a drawing. But they double it, they tripled it in May if you paid early, doubled it for June, and then July would just be normal. But if you guys wind up being late past July 31st, you will pay $350 to re-enter. So make sure to get your dues paid if you have not already. This is it. On that, I want to mention, because I'm running into this again, so we've got a few people expiring at the end of the month, most of them ready to go, but the one thing that's getting most people when they're expiring is wrap back, okay? Wrap back's that fingerprinting that the division requires when you renew, or currently if you're coming into real estate. The reason I'm bringing it up for a few of you is because I did wrap back last time I renewed. Some reason I need to do it again.
You do?
So I went to enter, because I expire next month, and so I was going to start, you can renew 45 days prior to your expiration. So I logged in yesterday to do my renewal, said I had to go do wrap back again. My understanding after talking to somebody is they weren't saving it from last time. They're supposed to be doing that moving forward.
It is the same.
It's their fault.
Your fingerprints didn't change.
I understand that. My understanding is
You
they,
didn't save it.
for whatever reason, I'm just letting you guys know. Double check and make sure in plenty of time,
That's
because
weird.
that's the thing that's with the exception of many realtors that like to wait until the day before to do their 18 hours of CE. Yeah, so 2 things with that. Check in. So again, within 45 days, you can start your renewal process. If you go to Realms and you click on renew on your license management, it will tell you whether you need to do wrap back or not. Because it won't let you move forward, or it'll say you need a background check. Additionally, you can check your CE there. So the one other thing to verify is that you may have 30 credit hours of CE, you may have 20 that are core. You also need to have the mandatory residential course within that list. Okay, you can take all the CE you want, but if you don't do the mandatory residential once every 2 years, you won't be able to renew. So wrap back, mandatory residential, make sure you have those. Give yourself plenty of time, because you get a late fee if you expire, and you cannot practice real estate if you expire, even if it's waiting for your fingerprints, okay? So, and then like last year, I'll get a little bit more detail, but, Realtor Day, July 26th, at the Realtor campus from 11 AM to 2 PM, they will be doing discounted Fredo Homes tickets for Fredo Homes.
So go to Realtor Day and then come here and have
Or
wine with
realtors.
free.
Oh.
Sorry, Realtor campus is solely Board of Realtors. And so they're actually calling it Realtor campus now because it's starting to house everything. The HBA is now in there. The Utah Apartment Association is now in there. They're pretty much starting to house all of the things within that building. But so July 26th, between 11 and 2 will be Realtor Day. You can get discounted tickets if you buy more than, so one, they're usually $20. So if you're buying them for clients. So that being said, I did this last year. I'll do it again. If I get enough people that may not be going down, if we get over 50, you guys need 10 tickets or whatever, they're $9 a piece. I will go buy them. If you commit to it, pay me because it's coming out of my pocket, then we can reduce the price down to $10 million. So, but I'll get a list of that before this happens so that you guys all know, right? So quick reminder there. Questions? Anyone?
What's this dunk tank about?
The what?
There's a dump tank at Realtor Day.
Oh, yeah, they do a little, I mean, they have food trucks. They do like a little carnival type thing there. I don't know who's gonna be sitting in that dunk tank, but,
I suggest you.
we're.
So we gotta talk about that actually, because he might be sitting in a dunk tank in August.
Wait. I know, look at, that's so exciting. So exciting. You guys know, do we have it in there? The August.
I have the service stuff, but I didn't put the Caldwell Banker Day.
Okay, so we are doing Codell Banker Day at Murray Park on August seventh. Okay, the week prior to that is our week of service. Okay, so we're still finalizing things for that day and what, and so this is, now remember, this dunk tank has not been confirmed. It has not been guaranteed, so don't go get all excited,
It's probably happening.
but someone brought up a dunk tank and that brokers may sit in it, not just me.
I've been,
Not assistant brokers though. I'm not sitting in.
Yeah, no. All managers.
I've been in the drunk tank. Is that the same?
Yeah, right, yeah, different one, but, we'll get kind of a layout of that day as well, you guys, save that.
August 7th, just save the whole day. We're doing.
Yeah, save the day, because we're gonna have a portion that's gonna be just realtors coming down, having fun, socializing. And then it's also family friendly as well. We're gonna be doing a movie in the park, the pool's gonna be
We rented the pool.
Uh,
for the evening.
rented out, so yeah, we're gonna try to have a whole day of, I think.
August 7th.
At Three Parks, so plan on that. And then the week prior to that, we have a few things we'll mention, but it's that week of service. So we're encouraging all offices be doing something. I know one's doing, oh, it's Habitat's Friday.
Habitat is this Friday.
Bridget and I will not be here Friday morning. We're doing a Habitat Humanities project. But anyway, that week prior, so we're gonna be doing a blood drive that week. We'll be mentioning it again. One office is doing something for Habitat. Anyway, we'll get into those.
It's on here.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
But save August seventh. Hey, so really quick, we want to just go over some kind of do's and don'ts and just best practices. If you're, because this is coming up and I've seen it industry wide and even on some of the groups and here. So if you're doing open houses for other people, if you're signing up for open houses, get details about what you're doing. Talk to the listing agent, prepare according to the seller's requirements, okay? Make sure your signs, printables, balloons, food, any of that stuff is up, set, and ready to go before the listing is supposed to go or to start. And then obviously review the listing so you know what you're talking about.
Right.
Don't just show up and learn it while you're walking clients through the house. Okay. Day of, again, get it there early, set up signs, tables, anything before that open house is supposed to start.
Let's be real clear. When your open house is scheduled from 11 to 2, that means the door is open for people to come from 11 to 2. So get there early enough that you're ready to show people through the house at 11 and don't leave until 2.
Yeah, some people are gonna be showing up early. And so, and being ready to go. And if you're not,
Almost
prepped, it
every
just
time.
looks unprofessional. For you, it looks bad for, whether it's your listing or whether you're doing it for someone, you want to maintain that professional, professional. I can't talk to you. Thank you. There's an ISM to the end of that, professionalism. Know the property, know what's going on in the neighborhood. I mean, oftentimes when I used to open house, I drive the neighborhood, so I knew what else was going on, if there were other open
Run a
houses.
CMA on it first thing if you do it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
One of the
Just
things,
property.
no competing properties. Fran would have a list of houses that if a buyer walked through and this wasn't the one, she'd say, meet me after this is over. I'll take you to see these other 3 houses. These will be a better fit. She nailed buyers like that, you guys. That's how you get them on the hook, right?
Yep.
And then offer immediate solutions. Call Johnny. Johnny works Saturdays and Sundays. If you're doing an open house, I have a buyer. They're not sure they qualify. Can you run some numbers with them? He'll do it on the phone with them right then. If he doesn't pop into your open house, because he does that too sometimes. So be prepared to offer solutions and hook those buyers. That's what it's for. You're working the open
Well,
house. to
know
get
the
buyers.
market. You're trying to, I mean, it's not just to sell that home, and it's also just to get clients. They want it, you want to be the most knowledgeable person in that room. Right? And so afterwards, remember, clean up after the advertising time. Don't clean up 30 minutes prior. Follow up on the leads. Make sure when you leave, you've locked up the house, lights are off. It's all, looks like it was when you got there. And then send any feedback you have to the listing agents. Good practices to have for all of us as we're.
And I can
And
say,
that's it.
Ashley does a great job of open houses. He does. All the does. My clients love her.
Sweet.
So,
That's good.
Okay. Questions, anyone? Good?
Okay.
All right. Many of you may have seen this. This is another one of those reasons to get everything in writing. Okay, this was a recent legal tip that Curtis came across. So the case was filed by a buyer had a dispute with the seller who refused to return $150,000 in earnest money. Okay, so,
That's
Go
a big
ahead.
one.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's reacting, gut reaction.
Yeah, buyer was unrepresented. Okay, this is an unrepresented buyer. Seller is represented by the agent. Buyer was presented with a rep C to purchase, subject to the sale of their home. Required that the buy. So remember, that subject to sale requires the buyers put the home on the market within 7 days. Okay, it's in the addendum. So within 7 days. So after reviewing the rep C, buyer expressed concern of the seller's agent. They may not want to sell their home. They may want to just rent it. They mentioned that even if they decided to sell, they would need more than 7 days just to get it on the market. Okay, again, they don't have an agent. They're not prepped. They're not ready to put it on the market. The seller reassured the buyer they didn't need to worry about the 7-day listing requirement in the addendum. With that assurance, the buyer signed the rep C, delivered over $150,000 earnest money to the seller. Yep. Sometime later, the seller abruptly canceled the rep C because the buyer had not put the home on the market as it was required per the addendum. And now there is a dispute over that earnest money because the seller is claiming default by the buyer because the buyer didn't list and they're holding on to their earnest money. Now, this is still in the courts. Don't know what the decision is going to be at this point. Don't know how much later it was, but there is a dispute that has arisen because of this.
Was it the seller or the seller's agent that reassured the buyer?
That part, we
This
don't,
is how it's
but regardless,
written up by Curtis.
yeah. Whether it's a seller's agent, where that liability may lie. The main point of this, get everything in writing, no
Right.
oral, no verbal agreements.
No
nothing that-
outside.
That's said is enforceable, right? I mean, I can even speak to one briefly. I don't know the complete scenario, but there was a lawsuit, and they're still even trying this, where they negotiated. Now, this was no representation, okay, just so you guys know. There's no representation on this particular case. Agents, it's just a buyer and seller. But they negotiated a contract back and forth via text. And when the performance didn't happen, I think the buyer, if I remember correctly, they're currently, and this is also, it was thrown out once, but I think they've refiled. But they were suing that was a contract that was in writing,
But isn't that what,
text,
is a risk contract?
text.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. This one was thrown out. But again, I don't know if that would change if there was anything. Again, remember, anything you put down in writing
Yeah,
can be.
the statute of frauds, right?
Yeah.
It's written.
Yeah.
It's an agreement.
So, but just remember, if there are promises being made to you, promises being made to your client, anything that's being said to another party, make sure it's in writing. Okay, if it's a conversation on the phone, follow up with it. Get that in writing, get it accepted, because, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen here. But that buyer might lose $150,000 depending on which way the.
Just say on realtor fees.
Darn, that was
Look
an
what happens,
expensive
yeah.
Yeah.
one. All right.
I frozen.
You're good.
I turned it off. Okay, this is one I want to talk about. This is keep coming up, and there seems to be a lot of confusion on this. Okay, do you all know the difference between, well, you have non-refundable earnest money. You run into that anytime you pass due diligence and finance and appraisal deadlines, right? Unless you've got subject to sale, whatever. But let's assume you have gone non-refundable on your earnest money. What I'm seeing a lot of, and we saw this especially during the crazy market a few years ago, is once it goes non-refundable, now you have sellers asking for that money to be released to them. Non-refundable, release us the earnest money, extension deadlines, whatever that might be. You guys understand that non-refundable earnest money does not mean it is the property of the seller, right? Non-refundable earnest money is still and will always be the property of the buyers unless the contract dies, even if it's non-refundable, because that earnest money gets credited at the end to the buyer. So if you got a $20,000 earnest money and it's gone non-refundable, it still belongs to the buyer. It still offsets money they bring in, purchase price, whatever it is. That is still the buyer's property. As long as they complete that transaction, it is not forfeit. It does not belong to the seller. The only thing non-refundable does is it makes it guaranteed to the seller should
If the contract.
the contract not close. The reason this is becoming an issue is because a lot of people, and this is, I'm surprised at how many, a lot of people think non-refundable means that it belongs to the seller. they can release it and seller can do whatever they want, they can spend it, but that's not the case. If it does get released, title company needs to know for one, because there still need to be balancing at the end. Let's say you release that earnest money to a seller. Let's say you have $50,000 earnest money, okay? It becomes non-refundable after due diligence or finance, or whatever it is, and the seller's requesting it to be released. Buyer agrees, go ahead and release that because they know they're not getting it back anyway. So now the seller's sitting with $50,000 that still technically belongs to the buyer. Let's say they only have $10,000 in equity. Okay, so now they close, they paid out. If they've spent that $50,000 and there's only 10,000 that's due to them at the end, where's that other 40,000 going to come from to credit that buyer? So these are things you got to think about when it comes to releasing earnest.
Does that make-
I don't recommend. Okay, so, sorry.
That end there got.
Yeah, I got
Sorry,
confused.
okay.
So-
Any amount of money that's released in earnest money, the seller's basically got to credit back. Okay? Does that, so
It's part of the balancing out.
I understand that, but we're just talking if after all the deadlines,
Mhm.
the things are canceled.
not canceled. Contract's still in place.
So assume your contract actually goes to closing and you finish the deal.
Right.
But if you've released the earnest money to the seller,
We ever release them?
It's
more
happening.
people are doing
A
it.
lot of people are
That's the
asking, that,
problem.
that's why this is becoming a bigger issue.
They write it
They're-
into an
they're asking-
addenda.
Yeah, they're writing into an addendum. Maybe the buyer wants an extension, like a settlement extension or something. And so in order for them to do that, the seller will say, yes, if you release the earnest money to.
Oh.
So if they're physically releasing the earnest money to the seller, this is the primary reason I'm bringing it up. Okay, is because I don't recommend releasing, right? And so, but it is happening very often now. Yes, and so I guess that's the clarification there. If you release it, and the deal closes, and the seller does not have either equity or that money still in account, how the buyer needs to get that money credited.
Now the seller can't perform.
Yeah.
Right? And the buyer's out their money.
I didn't realize we ever had the power to release money.
If it's, oh, I've been seeing them like crazy. And that's why it's been coming up, because I'm having this discussion.
To be said.
We have one right now where it's like for occupancy. So like it's releasing
Mhm.
parts of the earnest money over the next couple of months.
It's legal. You can release it as long as both parties agree. You just get it in an addendum.
Make sure
but
there
you
is enough
just need to
equity.
know that it's gonna be offset down the road. My main thing is that everyone assumes non-refund, not everyone, but there's so many people that assume non-refundable. And I think it's how you educate your clients as well.
Yeah.
Right? Sellers hear non-refundable, they automatically assume that's their money.
Right.
It's not their money. As long as the transaction closes and completes, it's still the buyer's money. And so it still gets credited back to them. They may not physically hold it anymore in their account. And I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure your clients understand what that means. One, if they're a buyer and they've been requested to release and they're okay doing so, make sure they understand the risks involved with that. And if they're a seller, if they're a listing, or if it's a seller, make sure they understand that just because something becomes non-refundable does not make it their property. It's still going to be credited back to the buyer in the end. Yes, they'll get it if it cancels, if it fails. So, and then actually on that, if you are ever writing non-refundable earnest money based on, especially, and we brought this up before, yeah, if non-refundable earnest money that, goes hard or goes non-refundable because the due diligence and finance appraisal is still protected because of, seller default. But if you ever write in there that, money will become non-refundable based on this date, also put in there, except in the event of seller default or seller cancellation based on, I don't remember what section it is, but I'll get it, yes. Because that also, while I think it'd be a far stretch to watch a judge actually rule against a buyer if a seller cancels. It's still not in writing. There's still an argument that, well, yeah, seller defaulted, but they made that money not refundable this date and not subject to that. So it's more just an added.
Marcia.
So what would happen then? If 50 grand, sellers spend it, now they don't have the funds to close. So now the sellers are in default of closing. So
Yeah, one,
they would have to pay the, $100K now, and then.
how many money?
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's,
So what, I mean,
I can't tell you what'll happen. I can tell you what, someone's gonna get a lawsuit.
yeah.
But now they've spent the money, they can't return the original earnest, which is why they couldn't close in the first place.
Right.
Technically, now they've defaulted, so not only are they out, now, not only do they have to return that earnest money that's gone, they have to match it. right? So I'm guessing there's a pretty good lawsuit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you think, so that money would be paid to a lender to remove a lien. Title's not closing. They're not insuring that transaction if it's not clean, right? Agents can take a loan for their commission, get paid out over time. There's room in there to negotiate, but it's really ugly and you gotta have a lot of willing people to participate in that.
so again, that's an extreme case, but I just want you all to understand what it could mean. And so, because it is coming up, I'm getting the questions a lot, and going into, you know, just letting you know, the non-refundable doesn't mean it still belongs to the buyer.
Please don't ever use goes hard in your contract. And if someone sends that to you in addenda, reject it.
Yeah,
Makes me crazy.
yeah, that's another thing. We have, as you all know, we have our own terminology. Every industry does, but it's not legal terminology.
Right.
Make sure that stuff's not in a contract, because a lot of agents don't know, and they don't have guidance, and especially if they're newer, that's what they're writing. Earnest money goes hard. That's not a legal term. You put that in
That
front
doesn't
of an
mean
attorney,
anything to
a
a
good
judge.
attorney, they're gonna argue that all day long. So.
Did we knock
and-
on it? What the hell is
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, like if you're ever wondering about verbiage, you know, you can hit either one of us up. And so, but, and then regardless of who wrote it, if someone else wrote it and it's ugly and it's a dirty contract that you need to be clean, don't hesitate to help educate, because I mean, educating other agents, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? We're all here to help each other, in my opinion. And so, but the biggest thing is protect your client. So make sure it's clean and understood and not ambiguous. So. Clear? Questions? Anyone? Awesome. Okay. Couple things really quick. So you guys are familiar with Real Trends? Okay, so America's Best. So the professional honors from Real Trends, you guys, anyone ranked in here, they're among the top 1.5% of agents in the United States.
Of
1.6
1.6
million
million real estate agents.
So
We're in the top
anyone that is ranked, I don't care what number you are ranked in here, you are among the top 1.5% of all agents throughout the United States. So ours, 2023 Real Trends America's Best. We've got the Compass Group at number 6. Have your home team, number 16. Leslie Niebling, 190 by volume. Mojo, 5 by size and 6 by volume. And this one's different. So this isn't, whoops. So that's our Real Trends, but this one was kind of cool. I wish she was here to see it. We even have it in Spanish. Teresa was the only agent in Utah
Oh.
to make this.
Awesome.
No, yeah, no, that's Latino agent.
Go, girl.
So, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's awesome.
Gives me the chills.
Congratulations to everyone on there. And Teresa, if you're watching, I have these graphics for you. As we mentioned, our blood drive, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm done.
Part of our week of service, we booked our blood drive. It's August 1st. I'll have the QR codes up this week so you guys can register for appointment times. If you don't want to donate blood, please invite 2 people to replace you. We would love to have a huge amount of blood donors. And then Reagan told us that she's also doing a blood drive, so we have to beat their Park City office numbers. So please,
Yeah.
please.
We've got a lot of blood here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
This office.
Do me a favor, don't drink that morning before you come in. Make sure your blood's clean.
Don't get a tattoo between it.
You know.
It's better to drink when you're half pint low.
Let's not do that. Okay, so Tuesday, August 1st, 9 to 3. Remember, we'll be pushing this quite a bit.
You guys remember this whole area will be full of beds and nurses and people giving blood.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was in
And
the.
then, the Union Heights office, this is their service project, but we're actually going to assemble this on August 7th at the park. We're collecting school supplies for refugees in Utah. So we're looking for these items. They have to all be new. We're also need backpacks donated. If you have a friend that owns a shop or a retailer, if they could donate to the foundation will purchase the items. We're looking for all the ways to get as many as we can. And if we exceed the refugees numbers, we're going to donate to some of the what are they called? They're the regulation for schools, for elementary schools that have high numbers of the free lunch program. What are those called?
Yeah,
I don't want.
Title I, that's what it is. I'm like, guys, here's the name.
Hey, look at me,
Title
like, I'm trying, but
We'll donate any excess to Title
They
I
are
schools.
needed by July 24th, though, it looks like. Oh,
we're trying to get them all by 20, because we're gonna
We wanna
get
assemble
everything
them.
together so we can sell.
So you know, okay.
Yeah.
July 20.
Oh.
July.
We're in June still.
And it's the 27th.
Oh.
That was 3 days ago. We needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, July 24th.
I hope it's not July 24th already.
Not yet.
Yes, and then
Quick.
at the park on Caldwell Banker Day, we'll have a big pavilion with an assembly line to put all the backpacks together.
So,
If you want to bring donations here or collect from clients or donate money or whatever, we love all of those things.
we'll have one open container. Okay, see how many we have, so.
There are 6 listings I included, and then we actually have some more because Janine Eiler's got a big construction project.
Okay.
I just procrastinated, so I didn't get this slide. Here's the first one.
I'll be right back.
All right, you guys, this one is Raquel's 525,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. The address is 619 South Harmony Court in Salt Lake City. That one's been on the market 5 days. Rosie has this one, 550,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,900 square feet. The address is 1159 West Ouray. In Salt Lake. Rosie, do you want to say anything?
That's a cool house.
Yeah,
I saw your video. So no flowers. We're under contract.
Oh, just kidding.
Oh,
It was cute. It
Sorry.
still is cute, I guess.
I was surprised when I saw the video that it's still there, but yeah.
All right, this one is Ruth Anderson's 875,000 for a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,900 square feet. The address is 6109 South Rainsboro Road in Murray. That one's 1 day on market, so, and it's 875, it's probably still available. This one is Tyler, no, wrong house. This one is Sheridan's. Oh, she's missing it. Okay, Sheridan Daily, 515,000, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,900 square feet. And it's in South Jordan. It's 10213 South Clarks Hill Drive. Cute little porch. All right, this one is Tyler Penman's. 449,999 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Salt Lake City. It's 3782 South, 1215 East. 5 days on market for that one. And then this one is Stephen Fetter's home that Fran's listing. They just got a new MLS number, but we've seen this one before. It's been up by the Capitol. It has amazing views. 1,199,000, 3-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,900 square feet. The address is 288 North Main Street in Salt Lake City.
Has he removed all the ferns?
No comment. I don't know. I don't know. And then Janine Eiler has a new construction project. The address is 200 North Main Street. I think that was in Bountiful. She has 9 units that are to be built. They're 1,300 square feet, 2-bedroom, 3-baths, starting at 570,000 each. That's it for what's on the market right now. What else have you guys got coming up? Anyone want to share? Yep.
I have a urine infested smoker house,
Oh, good.
West Valley, coming soon. They do have a squatter on site. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. And the site, the fascia is falling off the house and blowing in the wind. But don't let that scare you because it has 2.5 acres. So it could be used to build something cooler.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's in West Valley. It's 2.5 acres and you,
That's a lot. Blended.
yeah, and you could.
Where is it in West Valley?
You could raise some animals. It's on Parkway Drive, I think it's called. Parkway. We're just kind of sorting through some.
Sunrise Point.
Yeah, they really, honestly, they want like 650, 700 because of the land. That's good. Yeah.
For 2 acres in West Valley.
2.5.
That's Chesterfield or the other side of Redwood?
It's the other side of Redwood. It's like 76, 60, 6776 South Parkway or West Parkway. So I guess that's close to Magna, West Valley. I mean, there's a trailer on and someone lives in it, so they have to give it. There are all kinds of title issues. So, you guys are spending work. It's been helping me.
Let's go burn them out.
Literally, the smell of urine is.
Marcia,
This one go life circle.
I know, I think everyone feel better about their lives, and so, yeah, I got, but if you had some.
On the one hand, I've got you putting the budget's little tablet. It's 6,200 square feet, it has 5 bedrooms, which includes the, I think it's 6 or 8 rooms and like 6 bath. It's really cool. It sits on the 10th hole of the golf course. The one side is as open space, so you don't see anything there. You do it to the east, so the views are pretty, but some permitted. You don't see your neighbor on the other side. And we're gonna be about 15 and 5. That's one that means.
Like, if you
So if you know anyone, they have membership, then everything to go for the. And on the other side, I have a little condo on 27 South and 30s. It's a cute condo. It's only about 550 square feet, 1 bedroom. And we've been delayed putting it on the market because the sewer backed up. So we are.
That's my
the owners that have been basically going on with been a little slow in the remediation, but it's gonna be about 2 kids. And the homeowners fee, there's only 150 and it has a covered parking space. It's nice, close to transit and everything. Once you resolve, a little sewer problem. So you should go, so I have 3 million, 3,500, and the 200.
Travis King's Drive. But, it's been up, 2553 Linwood Drive, off of Carly, so we're gonna, 3,900 square feet, system of 1.35. Also just across the street, that Aqua Couple, just smaller than mine, like 500 square feet smaller, so 1.8. It was diamond, beautiful, but you definitely would not have to put $500,000 in my listing to make it incredible. They did an addition to 2003 to the back of the house with beautiful false ceiling, open kitchen with lots of light, 1/3 of an acre. It does need some updating, but it's the potential is incredible. Right now there's 6 bedrooms. You could take the master bedroom and the bedroom across the hall and create one huge suite. And then you would still have another bedroom on the main level. So a couple of the houses in my neighborhood have taken away, or taken all of the bedrooms upstairs to make a huge suite. But then it only leaves the master room and this huge instance. So.
Yep.
Me.
Yeah. I went to it with her. It's beautiful. The kitchen it lights up. It's a beautiful space. Yeah, it's good home. Lauren?
I have a 3-bed, 3-bath townhome coming up with Sandy on Thursday. It's 9623 South Villa Springs Cove, so it's an HOA community with beautiful trails, biking trails, hiking trails, 3 stories, beautiful views of sunsets. We're gonna list at 405, new LVP, beautiful light, oak looking hardwood floors. It's great. I mean, honestly, it's a gem. That whole community is beautiful and it kind of catches you off guard. You're in kind of a business development area and then you enter in there and it's like, wow, pool, spa, workout room, everything. And then I have a really cute bungalow on Crystal Avenue, 2036 East Crystal Avenue. Quintessential sugar house bungalow, 3-bed, 2-bath. She uses the den downstairs as a master bedroom with she's added a closet and a bathroom, so it could be either 4-bed or 3-bed. Beautiful yard with a big walnut tree with shade. It has a 1-car garage. You can actually pull a car into it. It's crazy. It's so cute and it's perfect, like right by Cactus and Tropicals.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
great. It's a
Great
great house.
Nobody look at it.
Somebody listen to that.
It's actually listed. We went under contract right away and then they got cold feet, backed out, so. Didn't have an inspection or anything, just. Pulled out. So we are at 675.
Okay.
She's lived in it for 25 years. It's just, she takes really good care of it.
I want to have 3 doors. I thought it was awesome.
3 doors.
Well, so many of those homes only have like a side door, you know,
Oh, right.
or it doesn't go out the back.
Right.
A back door and
So you're.
side door
And an actual.
and a front door. Yeah. It's like,
Super. It's really cute.
yeah.
You cannot beat the location, so. Come on down.
Great.
You're the lucky winner.
Okay, guys, anything else?
Hey, really quick before y'all go, just a quick reminder, you know, because like I say, breaking sales days apparently. Next week,
That was really nice.
closed on Monday, for 4th of July, and we will be closing at 2 o'clock on Friday. For that holiday as well. So if you guys have things that staff needs, you need to get done, please get them in by Thursday so that they have time to get everything caught up and get out of here. You're all there, right? So.
Hey.
And if anybody's waiting, I'm gonna try to load up. If you want to watch it, you're welcome to, but I'm gonna try to put the global luxury thing up here on the screen, so. Can't get credit for it,
But you can check in and listen to it.
Can't listen to it.
Real quick, Robin Christensen said she has a 5-bedroom, 4-bath in Woods Cross with a built-in ADU and full solar system for $798.5 also. All right, you guys, we're gonna go. We gotta hop into the global luxury class. So thanks for joining online. We'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.